What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday to everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well and having a great day so far. It is time now for the Thursday edition of the Weather Update for Thursday, February 15th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where we do the daily weather forecast for the United States, and plus we talk about weather records around the world and extreme weather. So if you like this type of content, subscribe to my channel down below. Today we're going to talk about the potential for record warmest winter ever in the Midwest and Northeast. Then we're going to talk about a snow chance that is coming for a good portion of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, in through the Mid-Atlantic region, and then of course the rain down in Florida that's expected this weekend, and the next storm system that's going to come on the coast in the west, and we do have to talk about the long range. There's going to be a warming trend coming pretty soon. First off, this is coming from the Weather Channel. The headline reads, record warmest winter, increasingly likely in parts of the Midwest and Northeast. Now when we say record, meaning record warmest since records have been kept. Who's to say there wasn't a winter this warm or warmer hundreds if not thousands of years ago? But since records have been kept, this is looking to be one of the warmest winters ever. At a glance, winter temperatures are trending record warm for over 30 U.S. cities. They're mostly in the upper Midwest and Northeast. A generally mild rest of the February means many of these cities may hold on to these records. This warmth has also led to record low Great Lakes ice cover for this time of year. A strong El Nino, lack of cold blocking patterns, and, well, they're saying climate change are all factors in play this winter. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but the fact is, it has been a very warm winter in the Northeast. Aside from just a few snow events here in Philadelphia, it's been really warm. And we're going to have a reinforcing shot of cold air here this weekend, but you'll see in the longer range that it's not looking all that cold in a good portion of the United States. Alright, let's take a look at today's satellite picture. You can see there is one Clipper system pretty far up to the north that's impacting the Northeast this evening with snow showers and even some steadier snows in some places as the lake effect enhancement will occur. Then you look here as the sun is starting to set into the northern plains. You can see there's a storm system that's starting to develop. That's the one we have to watch as we'll go across parts of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and eventually across the Mid-Atlantic through tomorrow night. Taking a look down south, here's the southern jet. That is going to load up once again and provide quite a wet period from Saturday afternoon right on in through to even Monday for Florida and parts of the Gulf Coast region. Then if you look at the corner here, to your left here, look at this off the west coast. Yes, there's another storm system out in the Pacific. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Taking a look here at the radar picture, you can see here there is an area of snow that is ongoing in portions of New York State. Several inches of snow could fall in parts of upstate New York. Could even see a few inches of snow in Vermont, New Hampshire, and portions of Maine tonight. That will eventually transfer its energy somewhere just northeast of Boston to a low that will exit rather quickly, but there will be a band of snow with that. Here's that other system that we're watching here in the Dakotas and the Plains, South Dakota and Nebraska. Look at this. You can see it's starting to gather now. We'll have to watch. There's been a bit of a wetter trend with this system in the models today. I'll show you that in a moment. And in the Pacific Northwest, yes, extreme northern California, Oregon, and portions of Washington, like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, you're dealing with some rain today, and not so good for you. And take a look at this. Down here in extreme southern Texas, some rain from that southern jet is starting to enter the picture once again, and that we'll have to watch throughout the weekend. National Hazards Map. You can see here, there's actually wind advisories up in the Northeast because as that low exits, it's going to create some sort of a pressure gradient, and there could be wind gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. You see winter storm warnings in upstate New York, winter weather advisories all the way through to portions of central Maine and northern New Hampshire and Vermont. Then you now see a winter weather advisories which are up for portions of southeast Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. That's from the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And I suspect that's going to fill in more. And it would not surprise me if winter storm warnings go up for portions of southern central Pennsylvania where the modeling, it's showing there could be localized amounts up to 7 or 8 inches in those areas. You can see Illinois and portions of Missouri, there are now winter weather advisories for you. Winter storm warnings up across portions of the Rocky Mountains. And of course, we are going to be watching a big storm system that's going to come on shore on the west coast as we head into this weekend. All right, taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center. You can see day one, not that much precipitation. Day two, this is where we see that storm system that's going to impact portions of the mid-Atlantic region. It's a quick moving system. And then the Gulf Coast. Yes, it's going to get wet again. And as we head into day three, same thing down there. The Gulf Coast, look at this. Very wet. And I want to back up for a second here. Day two, here comes the heavier precipitation for the West Coast. And that's going to continue for multiple days, as you can see here. Let's go days 1 through 7. You can see it's a rather wet period in Florida. And you can see even right around Clearwater, Tampa Bay area, you actually could use the rain. This will be beneficial to you, and any drought that remains for you, which you'll see in today's drought update, will probably likely be evaded and gone with after this event. You can see on the West Coast, something you do not need, and this is going to be quite a bit of precipitation. Anywhere upwards of locally 7+ inches of rainfall are possible over the next 7 days. So something we're watching, something we're not proud of, because once again, it's going to lead to more mudslides. It's going to cause more issues. And you can see here in the mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley, you can see the majority of this precipitation does come from this system that is coming through on tomorrow into tomorrow night, though there will be another system late in the week next week that we'll have to keep our eyes on, which that is going to be a rain event at this time. No excessive rainfall warnings for today or tomorrow, but there is some concern for that on Sunday, as you can see here in California. And actually, this is Saturday, but again, Sunday as well. Sunday is going to be a wet day because that storm system that's coming on the coast in California. All right, taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center. Nothing to worry about for the next 3 days. Now let's take a look at the models, and I will show you here that storm system. You can see the first one that is up in portions of New England tonight. That is going to continue. You can see there will be locally higher amounts in portions of western, or I should say northwest New York. Right off of Lake Ontario, there will be some enhancement that goes on. Then you see as we head into tomorrow, this storm system, it starts gathering. You could see 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow across northern Missouri, southeast Iowa, and central Illinois. You can see as I advance this storm system, it remains intact. Then what happens, and I'm going to move to the northeast region, because this I want you to see. There will be some lifting that occurred over the Appalachian Mountains, and because of that, the upsloping, it actually causes more lift in the atmosphere, and there may even be some warm air advection associated with this system as well. And that causes there to be an area of heavier snow over West Virginia and south central Pennsylvania, which is why I think you could potentially see winter storm warnings, and we'll have to watch where this sets up like that, because it does remain intact east of the mountains, and I've seen time and time again with these systems where the models want to kill the precipitation area or weaken it somewhat, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not happen, and in this case you do have an area of low pressure that is actually deepening, so that's something we have to watch. And I do think somewhere along the Mason-Dixon line through the Pennsylvania Turnpike there's going to be a swath of heavier snow, which is something we'll have to watch. Let's take a look at the snowfall amounts from the NAM, and this is really interesting here because it's actually been trending stronger at this time. And here we go. You can see here there will be that snow area that occurs across portions of Missouri and central Illinois, and the NAM's actually gone quite bullish with an area in central Illinois of up to 7 inches of snow. That could be overdone for you, but nonetheless, take a look at this. Across the mountains of West Virginia, south central Pennsylvania, yes, this is 4 to 8 inches of snow, and that would lead to warning level snows for you. There are several models that are showing this, and it's even showing 2 to 4 inches of snow in southeast Pennsylvania. Some models are even going as high as 3 to 5, locally 6, and again, wherever that heavier band sets up, there will be a jackpot area that could surprise. Right now, the Weather Service is going 2 to 4 in the advisories, and I'm in a good agreement with that, though I think there could be isolated areas of 5 inches plus. We'll have to see how that plays out. Of course, we'll have more on this storm system tomorrow. Now let's go back to the national view, and taking a look here, you can see on the national view, look in the south. Here comes that moisture that's going to load up in the Gulf, and it's going to impact Florida the most. You can see here, we're looking at now let's backtrack this. We're taking a look here at Saturday afternoon. You can see some showers start, but that really fills in on Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. And it's pretty much Sunday is going to be a washout for Central Florida. If you're going to Disney, yeah, it's not looking like a good weekend for you to be there. And even first thing on Monday morning, you still have some rainfall that eventually will exit. And at that point, you're looking at southern Florida will get in on the action. How much rainfall is the NAM showing? You can see here, widespread 1 to 3 inches of rainfall with locally 4+ inch amounts. And take a look at this. You can see at the end of the NAM run, as we get later into the weekend, heavier rainfall starts to enter the picture in Oregon and Northern California. Let's take a look at that now on the GFS, and I'm going to take this out to the national view, and you'll see here, look at this as I advance this. You see, heavier rainfall banding really starts to set up that moisture flow, atmospheric river conditions. Yeah, look at this. It just really says, and that's just the first system, Saturday night and Sunday. Here comes the second one, which this one's a little more impressive. So we had Sunday through much of Monday. It even gets down into Southern California. And then as we continue on here, you can see here, we're into Wednesday now. Southern California, still raining. Mountain snows, by the way. And here's that other system for later next week. Now, it's a fast-moving system, but it could provide opportunity for 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rainfall from portions of the Ohio Valley into the northeast, and we'll have to see here. The GFS is showing this could transfer to a secondary low and maybe a snowstorm for Maine. Pretty far out there, and I think this is likely to change. I'm not in agreement with this happening, and you can see the previous run. That didn't happen. And look behind that. It does actually get cold once again. Again, I'm not totally in agreement with this. Let's take a look at the EPS now. This is the European Ensemble Prediction System. And you can see here, as we head in through the weekend, an enforcing shot of cold air behind the system that comes tomorrow. But look at this. Right behind us, you can see it lists to the north quickly. By Monday, it's already exiting the picture. 50s will return, maybe even isolated 60s across the mid-Atlantic region, with no real signs of any long-lasting cold air. In fact, this is going to be above average temperatures. Look in the south. You can see there is even ridging setting up there as well, which will lead to above average temperatures. But as we head into later next week, take a look at this. You can see it is trying to show somewhat of a trough in the northeast. We'll have to see how that plays out. If anything, it's going to be out of here real quickly. Look as we advance into the following week. Already, it's gone. It lasts like a total of 2 days. It's not a true winter pattern. It's just a very short period of slightly cooler than average temperatures. We don't even want to call it below average because it's not really all that below average. And then take a look at this. In the long range, you have that Pacific flow, or the Pacific jet that just sets up and Pacific air floods the country. You can't get much in the way of winter weather if that occurs. In fact, we'll probably see more above average temperatures in a lot of places. All right, let's take a look at today's drought outlook. And you can see conditions did improve in the south, and you can see in the Four Corners region still some problems, but that is slowly going to get a little bit of relief from this system that comes in from the west down to Florida. You just have that one area right there near St. Petersburg and Clearwater. That's going to improve as well with the weekend rainstorm. You can see up here into portions of the Midwest, still some problems for you, and I think that's going to persist. Not much is going to change. Yes, there'll be that little bit of snow, but it's not going to do a lot to help your situation. And now let's take a look at what's going on with the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from Texas on up through the plains, well above average temperatures. You can see here, this does not look like winter whatsoever for much of the country. Slightly below average across portions of Florida, and I should go back to the EPS for a second. There is something I wanted to show you with that. You can see here, there's this little dip here, this little troughing down around Florida. So if this is your turn to go to Florida, maybe you're going down on vacation, slightly below average temperatures for you along the Florida Atlantic coast region. And then you can see in the west coast, near average or slightly below average because of that stormy setup over the next 6 to 10 days. Slightly above average precipitation in the west and in the northeast. Part of that is from that system later next week. And then taking a look here in the southeast, once we get past this rain system for the weekend, below average precipitation for you. And then 8 to 14 day average. Dallas, Texas, right on up through to portions of the plains and Midwest. Chicago, above average temperatures for you. Any type of cool down is going to be brief, as you saw on the European ensemble prediction system. It just moves out real quickly, near normal to slightly below average in the west coast, and then 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Yes, the Pacific Northwest could get active once again, slightly above average precipitation in the east, near normal in Florida, slightly below average in the northern plain. Alrighty, that does it for today's weather update. You can follow me on my Twitter account at Climate Data Report. That is Climate Data, capital RPT. There'll be a link to that down below. And when I'm not doing videos, I tweet there. I'll be tweeting there this evening with new model data on that system that's going to impact portions of the Ohio Valley through to the Mid-Atlantic, and anything else that I find interesting to tweet on. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. And of course, share this with anyone you know, and share this all over social media. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, have a fantastic Thursday evening. Thanks for watching.